Fire in the hole! Let's cook a flank steak. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome once again to my barbecue pit. What I got for you today is, this is a flank steak. And I was shocked and surprised when I bought this flank steak because the price of meat has gone up so much. Flank steak used to be affordable because it's a kind of a tough cut of meat. But if you treat it right, it can be made into something really good. Anyway, I got the idea for this recipe from my buddy SJ. His name's Sal. My name's Sal. So we share a first name, Sal and I. And he decided to make a flank steak marinated in chimichurri sauce. So what we're going to do is take a knife and lightly score our flank steak on top. And we're doing this for two reasons. Number one, we want the marinade to penetrate into the meat. And number two, when we cook this thing, we don't want it to curl up on itself, if you know what I mean. It could turn like into a hockey puck and just curl up on itself. But if you score it a little bit, that won't happen. There's no trimming involved with this flank steak. Even though there is a little bit of fat right there I could take off, but I'm not gonna, because you know fat is flavor. We're just gonna make some shallow cuts like of this and like of this. And we're going to get my flank steak into a marination bag, and then we're going to make a chimichurri marinade to marinate the flank steak in. Usually you put chimichurri on the side of your meat after it's cooked. We're going to do that as well, but also we're going to marinate this in chimichurri sauce. So stay tuned, we'll make the sauce. Okay, we're going to make this chimichurri marinade. I've got a bunch of cilantro right here. I'm going to chop off the leafy part of the cilantro and get that in my mini food chopper. I'll probably have to punch that down. I want to use all this cilantro eventually in there because I like cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you could just use parsley, which I also have some parsley here that we're going to use. Parsley, we're going to get that in there. I need to get that punched down a little bit to make room for the other ingredients. So let me get my cover on that thing, and I know it's noisy. Just have to bear with me for a minute. We're going to make a little bit of noise. Get that. Parsley and cilantro punched down a little bit to make room for some more parsley and cilantro. So another round of parsley in there. We're going to get all of that parsley in there. I want to make a lot because I'm making a marinade. And I want to also reserve some to put on the steak afterwards, after it's cooked. So let's get the rest of that cilantro in there and do another punch down. Another quick punch down. Sorry about the noise. Okay. I think we've got enough room there for some more stuff now. I'm gonna discard the stems of the parsley and cilantro, but I have some more parsley and cilantro to put in there. But you get the idea. Anyway, the next thing we got is some garlic. A whole bunch of garlic, about 12 cloves of garlic going in. Then we have a small red onion that's been chopped up to fit into the food chopper. I hope it's going to fit in. Maybe it won't. Looks like we're going to have to punch that down to make room for some more stuff. So let's see if we can't get that punched down a little bit. It's a piece of in the way there. Okay, it sounds like it's not going down, but that's okay. It eventually will go down and get all chopped up. The next thing we need is some extra virgin olive oil. I'm using this Tuscan olive oil that Rivet Gardner sent me. He's a great guy. If you don't know Rivet Gardner, go check him out. The iCard will be SJ Cooks, my buddy Sal, whose idea this recipe is. So you need some olive oil, and you need some red wine vinegar. A splash of red wine vinegar in there to wet that all down. That's your chimichurri sauce. One more thing, we've got some crushed red pepper. I'm going to put in there about a tablespoon of crushed red pepper. You can use more or less depending on your taste. You know, if you like it a little spicy, I also have to put in some salt and pepper. This is some butcher's salt and pepper that I got at Wild Fork. Really good stuff. About a tablespoon of salt and pepper. Maybe let's call that 2 tablespoons of salt and pepper. Get that in there. Now we can blend that all up, make it smooth. Sorry about the noise. And I think our chimichurri sauce is done. In fact, I know it is, except for one leaf. We'll blend that up. But that's what chimichurri sauce looks like right there. And we're going to get that on that steak. About half of that is going to go on the steak, and half of it's going to go in a jar. It keeps for about a week and a half in the refrigerator, and it smells so good. I wish you could smell that. The garlic and cilantro and all that stuff smells so amazing. Anyway, I'm going to get that on my steak, get it marinating, just pop in the fridge overnight. Tomorrow we'll come back and cook the steak. We're just going to do a turn and burn on the steak. We're just going to throw it on the fire, flip it a few times, and it'll be time to eat and drink a beer. So stay tuned. My flank steak has been marinating all night in chimichurri sauce. We're going to get it out of the package here. Now when my buddy Sal did his, he wiped off all the marinade. But I'm not doing mine that way. I'm just going to leave that marinade on there. And I'm also going to do what Sal did was he put his on the grill and he put it right on the hot fire. But I've decided to do a reverse sear with mine. I'm going to get my thermometer going here and stick it in the thickest part of the meat. And I'm going to cook it till we get an internal temperature of about 100 degrees, and then I will put it on the hot fire and give it a good sear, and then once it's cooked we'll slice that puppy up and we'll dress it up with some more chimichurri sauce, and I've got some apple wood in there producing a light smoke, so it's going to get smoked up. We're going to add another layer of flavor with the smoke. So anyway, yeah, let's get this flank steak cooking. It's been marinating all night in that chimichurri. Should be good. Stay tuned. Okay, my flank steak is clocking in at about 108 degrees, so we're going to get the thermometer out of him and throw him right on the hot fire. Get that thermometer out and grab him and drop him right on the hot fire. Just like that. Turn and burn. And I didn't take any of that marinade off of there. I don't care. I just don't care. Yeah, I know my buddy Sal, he scraped off almost all of his marinade. But I didn't. I left it on there. And I don't mind. I don't mind a bit. Looking pretty good. We're just going to keep turning and burning. Grill marks don't mean anything. It's a joke. Anyway, let me get him seared up a little bit, and then we'll get him on a plate. We'll let him rest. While he's resting, we can drink a beer, and then we'll slice that thing up and pretty it up with some chimichurri sauce and take a taste. So stay tuned. Okay, my steak is resting over there. Well, before we slice into it, we'll just let it rest a little while. Here's a ridiculously frosty Root Boy mug. Here's today's beer. Dos Equis Ambar Especial. This is one of my favorite Mexican beers right here. Dos Equis. I like Corona and I like Modelo, but I think I like Dos Equis the best. It's a nice dark ale. Oh boy, it's not an ale, I don't think. I think it's a lager. Pretty sure. Could be wrong. Ambar Especial. I don't know. I can't read that tiny little writing on that bottle, but it is very dark. You can't tell because my mug is very frosty. Let's quaff the froth off of it before we crack into this steak. Wow, that's delicious. I'm gonna remember that one. Dos Equis Ambar Especial. I think it's a Mexican lager, pretty sure. Not 100% sure, don't quote me. Okay, let me get my steak over here and slice it up and make a pretty picture for the YouTubes, and then we'll take a taste. Stay tuned. All right, my flank steak is done, cooked to perfection. Let me tell you what, look at that. I can't wait to get a piece of that in my mouth. I got some of that chimichurri sauce on there. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Oh, that's amazing. I need a napkin. Let me get a napkin. The napkins are fighting me. Wow. That is absolutely delicious. Marinating the meat in chimichurri sauce is a stroke of genius, Sal. I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to Sal. Sal's my buddy, SJ Cooks. Ah, that's delicious. I wish I had sliced up a bit more of it so I could scarf it down right now. Let me tell you what, this beer is amazing too. Look at that. Look at that beautiful Ambar Especial Dos Equis. Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. So let me tell you what, this is a total success, a total, it was an experiment, I guess, that Sal did. And yeah, it turned out great. I can't wait to get another piece of this in my mouth. I can't wait. And it's pulled apart tender. Beautiful. Amazing. Wonderful. I can't say enough good things about this flank steak. The price of it surprised me. The prices have practically doubled in the last couple of years. But anyway, yeah, that's great. Yeah, so I want to thank my buddy Sal, SJ Cooks. Go up in the iCard and visit Sal, SJ Cooks, and check out his flank steak video. Subscribe to me, Root Boy Cooks. My name's Sal as well. It's on my mug. See, Sal? And yeah, we share a first name, Sal and I. He's a cool dude. Go check him out. SJ Cooks. Subscribe to me. Come back next week. You know what I always say. We may not cook anything good, but we will drink a beer. Bye!